We have a little bit more left for you, just so that we can tie some loose ends up and take this like a little tiny bit further.
And this will talk to some of the questions that some people had as we were going around. And altitude definitely matters. Now, we talked about altitude, that is how high a planet will be above or below the horizon. Even if it's below the horizon, it does matter. Raise your hands, how many of you have tried to sunbathe at night?
Moonbathe, yeah.
So it's super important that when even a planet is below the horizon and where it is below the horizon. If you think about the planet on the opposite, the nadir, right, the opposite of the zenith, at the nadir, that could be a time for peace. It's when you find yourself sometimes, when you're all alone and it's only you who could solve that problem, or you don't have the distractions around you. Azimuth matters. Because if I'm standing over here and boom, I accidentally, this Martian, you gotta move over again so you could get rid of that Martian aspect of me now. It's the key points, especially those 4 cardinal directions. We're not ever going to discount anything in between that. Like I said, if you do see things that line up with each other in your own chart, that is going to resonate even more. Time matters. It does matter during the time of the year, the time of the day as well. Why? Because I talked about in ancient Egypt, they saw Sirius rising up on the horizon and they knew they had to get to work. Why? Because they had to prepare for the annual Nile floods and the agriculture and redividing that land among everybody that was there and how to work it. Just one example. And I mean, we've kind of showed this to you, but the local space chart would look like a circle with it might not look like a bicycle wheel with the spokes coming out of it. It could be a little bit more compressed on the easterly, westerly type of horizon. But when we put it in the map, it goes in this Bombay shape oftentimes. It's never going to be a straight line. There's always going to be some kind of curve to it. And we have to look at great circles and then sign up for the class so you can understand it.
I do have one idea. So we had that Uranus line for Cindy going out that way, but I'm bringing Uranus to her because I'm standing on the incoming line. And so that's something that, is that where that saying came from, that what you put out, you get back? Is that because it's an actual astrological thing? Your line's going out into the world, this is you projecting, then it's picking up all the energy on the way back to you. And what are you getting back from what you've put out? So it is a thing.
Well, I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Because the most easterly planets I have are Saturn and Venus, and I'm trying to give you guys structure, and hopefully you guys all enjoy it, and we're all sharing the love here. That's what I'm trying to spread. I love the idea of collaboration, morning competition, just because we get so much further that way. Mapping your environment. Would you like to?
Well, yeah, I was actually talking a little bit about this when I was at some of the tables, but there's also this, you're not just in your home, you're not just like sitting in your chair, you're mapping your own environment. So you're putting your energy out into the environment. And I always have this story that everyone who knows me has heard it 1,000 times. There's a Mars line that I travel down when I drive, and there's a stop sign, and every time I get to that stop sign, I have a meltdown because somebody's going too slow, and I want to give them a finger, You're not supposed to do that, so I hold it back like we all hold our Mars in. But it's like, that's my environment. My immediate environment is, where's your grocery store? Are you shopping on your Neptune store and every time, or sending your husband to go get groceries on the Neptune line, and he never comes back with what you asked for? Even when you gave him a list, that happens, right? So, where is your doctor? What line are they on? Where is your you know, your physiotherapist. Is it on your Mars line? Is it on your Saturn line? Are you all tense and you go for a massage and you come back just as tense because, you know, it wasn't as loving as you wished it was? You know, those kinds of things. So these lines go right out into your neighborhood that you're traveling every day to receive things from others in your neighborhood. So if you knew, well, maybe I need to shift my dentist from that one to that one because I'm going to get a better experience. Maybe you want your dentist on your Saturn line because he's going to help with the bones of the teeth and whatnot. You know, so there is no bad line. Again, you know, what shape is your planet in, and how can you best utilize that line in your life. So that's what this is about. This is like looking at, you know, the different places that you go and how those lines are affecting your experience. And it is your experience, it's your energy. Of course, theirs is also, you know, this is where entanglement comes in, because, you know, on your Mars line, did you meet a Martian person who, you know, you're now entangled with, and there's some sort of event that happens? Or, you know, are you using your Mars to its highest level, and, you know, and you've experienced something really great. You both met at the gym and had a really great workout, or a really great yoga session, or a really great whatever. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind, that this is a big part of it as well. It's not just our little compass, it's also how we put our energy out into our environment. And I think this is, you know, really important if you are looking at moving, or want to look at where you should live in your city, is, you know, what neighborhoods feel uplifted, because there's group energy, of course, as well. You can put this local space, you know, in the middle of your town, or at the town hall, if that's, you know, or the city hall, and have the lines emanate out and go. Or even your job. So let's say you're at your job and you drop your geotag at the job, and you say, where do I want to live that I'm going to have this really beautiful experience between my home and my job? You know, maybe that's going to be a Venus line, maybe it's a Jupiter line, maybe it's a Saturn line, so that you've got great boundaries that you've created, or a moon line because you want a really nurturing work environment. So this has these multiple uses, you know, that you can use. Your space should feed your spiritual, mental, and emotional bodies. And if you are aware of that, then use it, you know. And the great thing about using compass remedials is that not everything is perfect. Like, I didn't move to where I moved to. I mean, I love it there, but I didn't move there because it was a place I thought I needed to move to. I moved there for work, for my husband's work, actually. So maybe I've got some harsh lines going through there, but by utilizing my local space, I've been able to make it a beautiful place for me to live as well. So, you know, every place isn't perfect, but you can make it perfect for you, for the moment, for what you're doing. And I think that's what's beautiful about remedials and local space.
And take the classes.